So in this video, we are going to see Representative LaMonica Mclver destroy Kristi Noem to her face by calling her the actual threat to the homeland. Yeah, you need to see this. Let's watch the full video, and then I will give you my thoughts at the end.
Gentleman yields. I now recognize the gentlelady from New Jersey, Ms. Mclver, for 5 minutes of questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member, for holding this hearing today. The greatest threat to the homeland right now is a Department of Homeland Security that the American people no longer trust, a department actively undermined by its own secretary. This is on you, Secretary Noem. Today's hearing is supposed to be about worldwide threats, but Madam Secretary, under your watch, the threat is coming from inside the building. Because when DHS, the department charged with keeping Americans safe, is caught breaking the law, lying to the American public, systematically dismantling oversight, fueling bigotry, and targeting vulnerable communities, trust is broken. Let's start with the basics. How can we trust your department with you at the helm? The American people deserve an answer, even if you've spent the past year dodging accountability like it's your full-time job. We need to talk about oversight. Oversight is not optional. It is not a courtesy because you feel like it. It is not something you entertain only when it's politically convenient to you. Yet, time and time again, Secretary Noem, you have treated congressional oversight as an inconvenience at best, and at worst, something to be invaded, ignored, or denied altogether. Republicans on this committee may be willing to hand over their constitutional duty in order to kiss this administration's butt cheeks, but I am not. I will never. My district is not, and the American people sure aren't. While Republicans turned this hearing into a praise fest for your failed tenure, communities across America, including mine in New Jersey, are made less safe because DHS under your leadership has become unproductive and malicious. All of the thank you that we keep hearing from across the aisle, there's no thank you from me. And we see the truth that you're trying to hide. The truth is you are deeply unqualified for the post you hold. This is on full display in the way you treat the people in this body, myself included, who have been elected to serve our communities and keep them safe. Representative Grajava, Senator Padilla, myself and others whose character, integrity, and bodies were attacked by your department without evidence and without apology. Far beyond being disrespectful, you have shown a complete disregard for the oversight authority granted to us by law. You have repeatedly shown that you will target whoever you want, whenever you want, without accountability. Members of Congress, members of our communities, and even American citizens, as many of my colleagues have continued to point out today. Secretary Noem, that's not leadership. That's not democracy. And that is not how this works. Again, this is not just about you. Don't want you to think this is just a pick on you day. This is about the Trump administration that has turned DHS into a political weapon. So I'll ask you this. Is Trump embarrassed by your tenure, or is this exactly the kind of god-awful leadership he wants at DHS? Yes or no?
Ma'am, we've already conducted more oversight visits.
No, it's a yes or no. Yes or no. Okay, Secretary Noem, this is my time to talk, not your time to talk. I reclaim my time. I reclaim my time. I reclaim my time. Chair, I reclaim my time. Secretary Noem, DHS is breaking the law, hiding information from Congress, and shutting out oversight. So let me ask you, how can the American people trust your department with you at the helm with this kind of behavior?
The American people absolutely trust this department to keep them safe. And we are showing that every day by the support we get across the country, the amount of people that we're recruiting to all of our different agencies.
Thank you, Secretary Noem. Do you agree that using DHS resources to target members of Congress is an abuse of power?
Excuse me, would you say that
You
again?
would have heard me if you stopped talking and listened to my questions. Do you agree that using DHS resources to target members of Congress is an abuse of power?
We are not doing that. We are out there enforcing the law, doing our work, and we are allowing oversight.
Of course, we're not going to get any answers. With that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Gentlelady yields back. I now recognize the gentleman from Oklahoma, Mr. McKeen, for 5 minutes of questions.
I mean, wow. The threat is coming from inside the building. That is a terrifying reality check. We are talking about the agency responsible for keeping this country safe, and we have the person at the very top allegedly actively dismantling oversight and breaking trust. It is absolutely wild that we have reached a point where the greatest danger to the homeland is the leadership sitting in that chair. And let's talk about the absolute arrogance on display here. We have an official who seems to view coming to Congress and answering questions as a mere inconvenience. It is the job. It is the constitutional requirement. Instead of answers, we get dodging, weaving, and this attitude like, how dare you question me? It is the height of entitlement, and frankly, it is disqualifying. We have to address the butt cheeks comment because, I mean, come on, it's funny, but it's also tragic. We literally have one side of the aisle turning these hearings into a praise fest, acting like everything is fine while communities are actually less safe. It is a dereliction of duty. They are so busy kissing the ring or the butt cheeks, as it were, that they are completely ignoring the failure of the department. It's a cult of personality over policy, plain and simple. Look at the specific accusations here. We are talking about malice. We are talking about the targeting of vulnerable communities and, get this, the targeting of sitting members of Congress. The Department of Homeland Security has morphed into an opposition research firm. That is authoritarianism 101. If you use the apparatus of the state to go after people who criticize you, you are a bully. The refusal to answer a simple yes or no question is it's maddening. Is using resources to target members of Congress an abuse of power? That is the easiest question in the world. The answer is yes, but instead we get word salad. We get filibustering. We get an attempt to run out the clock because the truth is too damning to admit out loud. This is what weaponization looks like. We keep hearing projection about weaponized justice from the other side, but here we have the actual receipts. We have a department that is allegedly attacking the character and integrity of elected officials without evidence and without apology. It is utilizing the power of the federal government to settle political scores. That is how a regime functions. And honestly, you have to ask, is this incompetence or is this the plan? Is the chaos the point? Because if the goal is to break the government so it can't function, then congratulations, mission accomplished. But if the goal is to actually protect the American people, this is a catastrophic failure. It's just refreshing, finally, to see someone refuse to let the clock run out. We saw the I reclaim my time tactic used perfectly. It shuts down the nonsense. It stops the spin. It forces the silence to speak louder than the words. When you avoid answering if you're abusing power, you have already answered the question. The bottom line is that trust is broken. You can only lead a department based on safety when people trust you to follow the law. This is about the basic functioning of our government. If the call is coming from inside the house, you change the locks. If you want to keep seeing these officials held accountable instead of praised for their failure, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel expose this stuff.